Hi, everybody. Okay, so this week I have a big project for you. Um, and it's something I put a lot of thought into before deciding to do it. Um, but we're going to do a walk cycle this week, um, taking the character that you developed last week and taking it further into animating because you can't really lock down the character design until you know it can move the way you want it to move. So, uh, and having gone through a lot of mid-res reviews and grad reviews, there's very few people who actually like nailed the walk cycle, and it's so simple, really. So I think it's really worth if you have an animation degree to be able to do this one thing well. And uh, when I was a student, we had the walk cycle down pat by the end of our first semester of our freshman year. It's a very different school now, and it's a really good school. It's really good for the industry as it is now. And Robert is a great animation teacher. Um, but it's it's always good to um, do something until you get it good. So and it won't take that long to do, and it's not that difficult. And it should be really fun to see everybody's character alive. Um, now, I know none of you have animation paper, but all you need is a sketchbook, a pad of paper. You only need 12 sheets of paper. One of those is just for the ground plane, the underneath drawing. Um, so, yeah, I think you can do this. There's also an app, a stop motion app. And I'm sure in your other classes, you're probably introduced to a lot of different apps that you can animate with by now. But we'll talk about that during class time. Let's see. And the first assignment is to take your characters and use a gesture from your live drawings and put your new character into that gesture. Now, I realize a lot of you won't have all your live drawings to peruse from, but pick something. Um, you could use a magazine ad, anywhere you want to get a gesture from. The point is not to overthink those gestures. You know, if you're just trying to come up with a gesture out of your head for your character, and it tends to be a little bit stiff. Um, so if you just not worry about the gesture so much and pull from something else, you'll see a gesture that um, is appropriate to the personality of your character. That's the one you want to use. And I'd really like to see um, the, 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 the two illustrations, the beginning of the arc, the end of the arc. And you might have noticed from working on this that as you're working, you start getting story ideas. I already have my story idea. It didn't make sense to me exactly why she would take off her clothes and turn into this wild woman. But as I'm working on it, I get an idea and it totally makes sense. And it's like, I'm excited about it. I want to make this film. So, again, when I was a student, that's kind of how we would approach story, much more organically, much more coming out of the drawings rather than going straight to storyboards. It was it was a lot of fun, but we weren't as interested in storyboard as much as you are now, unfortunately. um, yeah, so take those illustrations, make them killer, impress yourself. This is where this is like something that you make at the beginning of a project that you put up on the wall, and every day you look at it going, yeah, I'm going to do something that good. Um, yeah, so make those two illustrations really count. So you do the beginning of the arc, second of the arc, pull from a gesture, put your new character design that you designed from your life drawings on those poses. And it does not have to be poses from the same model. It's just a pose. Okay. Um, I think that's about it. And I'll see most of you on Zoom.